Ambiguous means unclear. So sometimes there are problems in which the answer is a little bit unclear. When we're dealing with trigonometry, an ambiguous case is a problem that has more than one possible solution. A triangle is ambiguous if you know two sides and an uncontained angle. So here's an example of an ambiguous triangle. I know two sides and the angle that's not contained between the two sides. So this triangle is ambiguous. This triangle, however, I know two sides and the angle that's contained between them. So it's not ambiguous. So to know if a triangle is ambiguous, you just need to remember SSA, a side, and the angle outside. A triangle that's not ambiguous will have side, angle, side, or SAS. However, there are cases of SSA where the triangle is not ambiguous. The first instance is if you know a side, and an uncontained angle, but the side across from the angle is greater than or equal to the other side that you know. The other instance would be if you have a right triangle, but it's kind of a non-example because you actually do know two angles. Both of these are examples of SSA where the triangles are not ambiguous. So I'll show you an example. Triangle ABC has angle A 36 degrees, side A 4 centimeters, and side C 6 centimeters. I'm going to draw this triangle and we're going to solve. So here I've taken the information given in the question and drawn a diagram. I know an angle and its opposite side, so I can use the sine law to solve for angle C. So I set up my ratio, isolate, and solve. So here I get an answer of 62 degrees, and that seems to make sense. But hold on a second. Up here, sine is positive. So if you remember your cast rule, sine is positive in the first quadrant and the second quadrant. So that 62 degrees is really just this angle here, but we're forgetting about this angle here, which is 62 degrees less than 180. That means it's 118 degrees. So that angle C could be acute or obtuse. So we could have the acute triangle where angle C is 62 degrees, or we could have the obtuse angle of 118 degrees. So because we only knew side, and an uncontained angle, and this side was less than this side, we know we had an ambiguous case. If you were to go ahead and solve this triangle, you would have to deal with both triangles separately. So deal with the acute triangle, solve for this angle, and solve for this side, and then separately deal with the obtuse triangle, solve for this angle, and solve for this side. So to sum up, when you're dealing with an ambiguous case, you should draw both possible triangles, the one with the acute angle and the one with the obtuse angle. You should solve the acute triangle first, and then you can easily solve the other triangle by using a supplementary angle.